Elliot struggled with anxiety throughout his life, from childhood fears about school and the future to worries about his progress in Master Thomas's Zen monastery. One afternoon, while sitting under an oak tree, he felt trapped in his thoughts. Master Thomas noticed him and said, "Come, walk with me." They strolled to the river behind the monastery. The master asked, "Can you stop this water from flowing?" Elliot frowned, pondering the question. Finally, he replied, "No, master. The river will flow no matter what I do." Master Thomas nodded. "And yet, you spend your life trying to stop time and control what has not yet happened. You resist the natural flow of life, just as if you were attempting to dam a mighty river with your bare hands. Tell me, does worrying change anything?" Elliot opened his mouth to answer, but no words came. He looked at the river, watching how effortlessly it flowed, never stopping, never hesitating. Master Thomas picked up a small leaf and dropped it onto the water's surface. The leaf danced along the current, moving gracefully without resistance. "You see, Elliot," the master continued, "life is like this river. It moves forward whether you wish it to or not. Worrying is like standing on the shore and shouting at the water to stop. It is futile. The past has already been carried away, and the future lies downstream, beyond your sight. Only this moment, this very breath, is within your control." Elliot stared at the river, feeling a shift inside him. For so long, he had been fighting the currents of his mind, trying to control what could not be controlled. But just like the leaf on the water, maybe he didn't have to fight. Perhaps he could learn to flow. Days passed, and Elliot attempted to apply what Master Thomas had taught him. Whenever worries crept into his mind, he reminded himself of the river. Then, one evening, Master Thomas fell ill. His frail body grew weaker, and his breaths became shallower. The disciples gathered around his bedside, their hearts heavy with sorrow. Elliot sat beside him, holding the old man's hand. "Master, I am afraid," he admitted, his voice barely above a whisper. "What will happen to us when you are gone?" Master Thomas smiled faintly. "Ah, Elliot, do you remember the river?" Elliot nodded. "Then you already know the answer," the master said. "The river does not stop when one leaf sinks beneath its surface. It continues to flow as it always has. Do not fear what is to come. Do not cling to what is passing. Trust the flow of life." Elliot felt tears well in his eyes, but took a deep breath. For the first time, he understood. His master was not indeed leaving. His wisdom, lessons, and kindness would continue like the river's current. "The past is gone. The future is unknown, but the present is in your hands. Live it well, my student." With that, the master closed his eyes for the final time, smiling peacefully. In the days that followed, Elliot was filled with mourning and reflection. He found himself returning to the river often, watching its endless flow. For years, he had worried about things beyond his control, but Master Thomas had given him the greatest gift, a lesson in surrender, trust, and the simple truth that life moves forward, no matter how hard we try to hold it back. One evening, a new disciple approached Elliot with a troubled expression. "Elliot," the boy asked, "I can't stop worrying about what will happen in my life. What if I fail? What if things go wrong?" Elliot smiled and placed a reassuring hand on the boy's shoulder. "Come," he said, leading him toward the river. As they stood at the water's edge, Elliot picked up a small leaf and placed it on the surface. The boy watched as it floated effortlessly downstream. "Life is like this river," Elliot said, echoing his master's words. "It will keep moving, No matter how much we worry, the past is gone, the future is unknown, but this moment, this very moment, is in your hands. Live it well. The boy's expression softened as he watched the leaf drift away. At that moment, Elliot truly understood he was now the teacher. The river had carried his master's wisdom forward, and it would continue long after he was gone. The past is gone, the future is unknown, but the present is in your hands. Worrying about things beyond our control is like trying to stop a river from flowing. It is a futile effort that only robs us of the present moment. Instead of resisting, we must learn to trust the flow of life, knowing that each moment is an opportunity to live fully, breathe deeply, and embrace what it is. Now, I ask you, what worries can you let go of today? We would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this.